This is a Neumann TLM 103, except it's a counterfeit. And I want to show you how to identify a counterfeit Neumann so that you do not get fooled. I intentionally bought this because I wanted it as a curiosity to see just how good of a job that they did with a counterfeit, because I suspect that they did quite the poor job. Now, if you were looking at the printing on this box, it looks pretty good. The orange is a little lighter than it should be, but if you didn't have a real Neumann box around to look at, you may never know. Even the product code and serial number label looks authentic, but those are the easiest parts to replicate. It's simply copying and reprinting some paper. So let's pop this open very carefully. As you can tell, this is designed to replicate the Neumann TLM 103 studio set. The manual is a little bit damaged. Well, bent up, because nothing was held in place in shipping. The printing on this is okay. It, to me, is very obviously a copy. Throughout the manual, there are issues such as just offset lines and a lack of overall clarity. It may not come up on video very obviously, but it's just slightly below what you would expect for a high-quality manual. Now, right here, on an official Neumann box, there would be a black piece of foam about 1 centimeter or half an inch thick, covering the entire upper side. As you can see, this one does not have it. And other counterfeit Neumanns of this type will sometimes have a white square piece of foam only right here. So if there's no foam, or it's that one small piece of square white foam, then, well, you've got a counterfeit. But there are many other obvious things besides the box. Here we have the microphone stand clip. It looks like a Neumann stand clip, but you can very quickly see it is made of cheap plastic. And it also, it is not a great sound and does not move very well. Even this does not work how I would expect. Going further in, we do have the shock mount. It does include a spare rubber band if you need it. Well, two, because that's how many it takes. And it is made of metal, as you can tell here. And if I drag, one very quick, obvious way on how to identify that this is a counterfeit: official Neumann rubber bands. Use heat shrink to tie the ends together. Official Neumann ones are continuous. They do not have a joint. Some of these knockoff mounts will not have this opening here. This one actually faithfully replicates this opening. Another way to tell is that the threads will not match. I have an official Neumann right in front of me here, and it does not thread into this, as well as I will show you on the microphone very shortly. The official Neumann actually can't even reach through here because this is too thick. And even this knob is a cheap plastic knob. On the official Neumann, it's a nice, shiny, smooth plastic. There's not all of these flash lines. But let's set that aside, because I'd like to get to the microphone itself. And I'm going to have to pull it out here. Let's move the box out of the way. And this is the knockoff jeweler's box. A very easy way to tell that this is a knockoff is this right here is a sticker. The Neumann logo The easiest way to tell that this is a knockoff is that this Neumann logo is a sticker. This should be burned into the wood and pressed in. It does have a very nice sound though. Another quick way to tell, there should be nice on this jeweler's box, there should be nice dovetails cut into the box. Unfortunately, there are none at all on this. This is a cheaply put together box with some sort of sticker covering over it. As well, on one of these ends, there would be the serial number sticker stuck on the end. This has neither. And you can even tell it sounds cheap. Gonna pop that open. Sorry for the loud noise. And here you can see the knockoff Neumann in all of its glory. The type of foam between the top and bottom are mismatched. A very rough foam on the top, and on the bottom, a very smooth foam. Additionally, official Neumanns will have a spot for the microphone stand clip at the bottom here, and the microphone would be oriented more up this way. So you can tell that this is 100% a knockoff without anything else, just simply by the existence of only the microphone in here. Even the quality of how this foam is in here is suspect. Let's slide this box out of the way. Now, on first pickup, this microphone feels very light. And that's because this microphone weighs 350 grams. An official Neumann microphone weighs 450 grams. When you pick up a Neumann TLM 103, it's a heavy boy. Just like the official Neumann, this does not have an integrated pop filter. Another thing to know about counterfeit Neumanns is most of them do not have a serial number on the back. Newer ones do seem to have a serial number on the back, but it's a pretty good bet if there's no serial number that it is a counterfeit. Another way to tell, and I can't show you this directly, but the distance between this edge and this edge is actually more, it's longer than an official Neumann, which makes both these microphones compatible with each other's mounts. So the counterfeit microphone only works with the counterfeit mounts, and the official Neumann microphone only works with the official mounts. But I want to see what's inside this. That is so satisfying to open. Like an official Neumann, it does have 1, 2, 3 screws, and it does have a knockoff Neumann badge, but as you can see, be a little difficult to see. It is not centered. It should be more right here, but instead it's off center. Additionally, this font weight, the line weight, is all much, much skinnier than an official Neumann. So let's open this up and see what's going on in here. That's screw number 1. Let's take out screw number 2. Oh, another way to tell that this is not an official Neumann microphones have flush screws, whereas this is not. This is recessed deep down into here. Let's slide this off. So it has interesting looking microphone capsule. Do not touch. It doesn't matter how cheap the microphone is. Do not touch the capsule with your bare hands. You should always use clean white gloves. So let's touch it anyway. I'm just touching the little screws. This does not look like anything like the official Neumann capsule. It's actually a little bit smaller. It has a strange, stiff plastic mount, and it is actually hard mounted to a metal plate. As you can tell. The official Neumanns are mounted to a circuit board, which are then set in a thick rubber O-ring that isolates it from the entire body, which helps to attenuate those lower frequencies from vibrating the microphone. Oh, and another indicator of it being not authentic is this has 2 wires, whereas the official Neumann has 3 wires. Oops. And as we pull this open, you can see there is not much going on in here. There is one circuit board that it does not look like the official proper circuit. It's even missing one of the boards. Ooh. I like the heads. Well, that's one good thing about this. Let's take this bottom screw out. Oh, another thing that I can tell that this is not very official, and the fit and finish on this is bad. These pins are slightly misaligned, making the connector for XLR very difficult to put in here. I believe these need to rotate just ever so slightly this direction. So now, this is the full circuit. It's pretty clean. It is brand new. It does have an adjustment knob in here for something. I'm going to assume it's voltage regulation. Look at me being bad and touching the capsule from this really cheap microphone. This microphone was about $175 US. And it is definitely not exactly worth that. Ooh. That is... Oops, I'm sorry. I do love the sound this makes. Even if they did cheap out on the amount of material, it is still an okay casting job, I guess. The grill itself is actually a little bit thicker. And it does not have an integrated pop filter, but it is much more difficult to see through this grill. let's go ahead and put my screwdriver away for the moment, because I will not be putting this back together because I want to experiment on it more. This is still useful as a fun experiment. And it gives me some fun things to play with. I am Eric Talmo, your neighborhood Okasama. Hopefully this has been informative to you. And if you like this sort of informational video, just give me a little like, maybe subscribe to my channel, Erica the Angel, as in Erica voice actor angel. Haha, that's the pun. But yeah, what a cheap knockoff of an official Neumann. They tried their best, which was not their best, it was their worst. I have seen and heard that there are higher quality knockoffs out there, but until I see one, I won't be able to show you one. Maybe sometime in the future if I have more money to waste.